New Balance Fresh Foam X 1080 V14 versus the More V5 versus the Fuelcell Rebel V4, and last but not least versus the Balos or Balos. With that being said, you guys, go ahead and comment down below any info you know about any of these sneakers, because me personally, I don't know about the More V5 that much or the Balos. So let us know if you have any experiences on any of these sneakers. Go ahead and let us know in the comment section down below. Let's go ahead and get straight into this video,
y'all. A review of the New Balance Fresh Foam X 1080 V14. In my opinion,
that's one thing I do want to say on my channel as well. I did do a review on this shoe very recently, and it is on the channel. So if you want to check that video out for a more in-depth and detailed look, make sure to go ahead and check that out.
If you're looking for,
we got sneaker reviews dropping at least once every week.
Usage,
so if you're into that type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe.
So on. This is really my favorite shoe that they've released. My favorite version of this shoe as well, and I've had all 5 versions from the 10, 11, 12, 13, and now the 14s.
Well, this should be a pretty good little comparison
They do have wide
video.
and extra wide versions of these as well. Incredible pair. But a lot
especially
of people
for all you runners out there, I'm trying to get into running. But from my understanding,
so in this video, I wanted to
get this video to pause. From my understanding, I heard that the 1080 V14 is not really as much of a, how can I say this? It's not really much of a tempo runner. I guess it's more of a everyday kind of like daily type of sneaker. So, and I also heard that the Fuelcell V4 is more of that up tempo. You can kind of take it on faster runs. It could be easy runs, but let's go ahead and see what they got to say
between these two shoes. And then a lot
I
of
want to
people
hear about the price differences
past,
too.
But they wanted to see a Rebel V4 versus the More V5s as well, which in my mind I was like, they're so incredibly different. But I guess I can let you guys know what those differences are between them and let you guys kind of determine which is the most comfortable pair of shoes that you're looking for for your feet. Because at the end of the day, all 4 of these pairs, and I have the Balos here as well for $200, very expensive, but very awesome pair as well. But which is the best pair for your feet? And so I can do a little bit of like a comparative analysis between these for you guys, since I've had all of them and I know how all of these kind of feel overall, at least on my feet. But if you guys have a difference in opinion, of course, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. This is not a paid sponsored video by New Balance or anything like that. But if you guys do use the links in the description of the video or in the pinned comments, I do get a little bit of a kickback, and it lets New Balance know that you guys saw the video. So always appreciate it when you guys do that. So one of the things that I want to mention that I'll kind of reference right now is that you can go to New Balance's website. You can go in and compare all of their top shoes. So I'm going to go in and add the Rebel.
Damn, I did not know about this.
In the More V5s. And then I don't know if they have the Balos out here. They don't have the Balos because it's kind of a little bit of a different one. But I'm going to go ahead and compare the Super Comp trainers as well, because I have those also, an incredible pair. But from here, this is going to give you a really quick look at all of the differences between these 4 models. And the number one thing is all the stability says it's a 2 out of 4. So the first thing that I noticed is the Rebel V4, this pair here, it actually says that the cushioning on this is a 2 out of 4, not a 3 out of 4, which is pretty crazy. That lets you guys know you're messing with some crazy stuff. Because if you've ever tried on the Rebel V4, the cushioning in this is insane. Like, it's so soft and squishy. Like, it is really good stuff. Now, obviously, the Super Comp Trainer V3 version is a taller stack, and it is a little bit more comfortable than even these. But overall, I'm like, these are incredible. So don't be misled by that. I guess that's one of the things that I can help, I guess, sort of debunk in the video, is the cushioning on this says 2. These two say the cushioning is level 3. Also, if you look at the individual page for the Rebel V4s, it is listed as soft, not extra soft, unlike the other ones out here. All 3 of these are actually listed as extra soft. The Rebel V4s, however, are just listed as soft. I would say, again, don't discredit and count out the Rebel V4s just because it doesn't say it is as soft as the others. They're still incredibly soft on feet. And there are other advantages that I'll get into in just a second. But overall, I would say if you didn't see my review of these are like a better, well-rounded version of the 1080 V13s. There are a couple major differences that they did to this. One, they added more ventilation for the V14 over the V13. There's also a larger gauge mesh on the tongue.
That colorway
also,
is
the
fire.
Traction pattern on the bottom is done quite
that one, believe it or not, was the one I wanted to get on the channel.
And I like this traction pattern. It makes
I see this colorway all over the internet.
And walking around and running around and stuff. For the longevity of the product. The other difference between these and the 13s is actually this formula of the Fresh Foam X is a little bit firmer, just a teeny bit, than the 1080 V13s. And in my opinion, side by side, it says that they're the same stack height, but I have them up next to each other. The stack height does look a little bit bigger in the 14s than the 13s. So it's just my eyes, but again, side by side, the 14s do look bigger. So if you're stepping in the 13s and the 14s side by side, there is still like a crazy amount of heel squish and a crazy amount of forefoot squish in the 1080 V14s, even though people are saying that these are a lot firmer than the 13s. So Again, kind of misleading, but the 13s are incredible. If you've tried the 10s, 11s, and 12s, they're all very, very good. But if you tried the 12s to the 13s are much softer than the 12s. The 14s are not much firmer than the 13s though. The 13s maybe up here, the 14s just right here, and then the 12s like probably down here. So the 12s are firmer, 14s and then 13s are just so much smaller of a difference. So if you're looking for something that's like a lot firmer than the 13s, it's not a lot firmer. In fact, I feel the overall squishy.
Unlimited 1.5% cash back is just the beginning. With no annual fee. Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
Grind hard, push, pull, chin up. The king is back!
Squishy feel under the midsole better in the 14s. Again, at least in my experience, it does have a little bit of a higher foam stack, even though it's the same on paper. Side by side, it does look a little bit bigger than on the 13s. So it does feel like better than the 13s. Overall, a better experience, overall, a better build. So 1080 V14s, king of the daily stuff, in my opinion, unmatched really by anything, especially the price point being at the 165 retail. Now you have the more V5s that have entered the chat. These things are incredible as well, and the midsole cushioning is even bigger and better and more plentiful in here than on the 1080 V13s or the 14s. And the crazy thing is the retail on these are 155. So you have a lower retail price point on the more V5s.
These look crazy.
And a higher comfort stack and more cushioning in the heel, in the forefoot. Overall, a way like plusher experience. In my opinion, the plushest experience I've ever experienced from New Balance, which is saying a lot because again, they've had a lot of great stuff. But from any brands out there, this is a top 2, top 3 pair for max cushion comfort. And so it's definitely one of the most incredible max cushion sneakers you can try on your feet. If you really want a crazy max cushion stack, lots of cushion in the heel, lots of cushion in the forefoot. I mean, this is the bargain price at $155. Also, they do have regular, wide, I think, and even extra wide versions of these. So if you have somebody that has sore knees or sore joints and you need something with max cushion, this is like an insane pair. This is not medical advice or anything like that. Obviously, consult a doctor for your footwear. But for somebody like myself, max cushion for sure, these things are absolutely incredible. The difference between the 1080 V14s and the more V5s, obviously the midsole comfort and midsole stack is much larger, but not only that, it is a wider toe box, even on the standard version. So I have standard on both. The toe box is extremely wide. I'm somebody that kind of teeter-totters on a wider foot. I might be able to do a wider version in the 1080 V14s, but from the Mores, I know from the past I did get a wide version, it was too wide. So the standard version of the More V5s was my perfect choice, and I really like what they did in this model. I think overall it's incredible. You can see the traction pattern on the bottom. It's definitely a wider base as well. So overall, just a wider pair. It's only 11 ounces in this massive stack of foam versus like a 10.5 in the 1080 V14s. If you hear the rustling around again, the dogs are just running around everywhere. So the heel to toe drop is a little bit different as well. It's only 4 mm, which is pretty minimal versus the 6 mm. You still get a crazy amount of heel squish and forefoot squish in the 1080 V14s, so don't be fooled by that. But again, top of the class with max cushion. Then you have something that is the best overall for daily, in my opinion. Now you move over to the Fuelcell Rebel V4s, and it's like, where do these fit in? Well, the price point is $140 at retail, which is the lowest out of all 4 of these pairs out here. The other thing is it uses Fuelcell in the midsole instead of Fresh Foam X. So for those that don't know the difference between the 2 proprietary foams from New Balance, Fresh Foam X is like more of the recovery foam, the soft cushion landing, but the Fuelcell is more of the propulsive spring back. Fuelcell is typically more for going fast and speed runs. This is more for like your lazy day runs, endurance runs and stuff. So really what that means, if you're using this for a casual perspective or just casually, you're in for a treat no matter which one you choose. Now, if you want to go the Fuelcell Rebel V4 routes, which is one that I've like been on for forever, I think this is an incredible shoe. I've worn these to Arizona, like Vegas and like Disney and stuff. Like I really like this shoe. And you can tell it's like super mega dirty. I did an impromptu hike in Hawaii even to see a waterfall. Not the shoe I would have chose from them. Would have rather gone with the Heroes, but this is what I had. Any which way, if you're looking for a pair that's really comfortable overall on feet, heel toe squish, again, very good. But if you're looking for something more breathable than what the other options are, and you want something lighter, then this is gonna be the one for you. Because the Rebel V4 weighs in at 7.5 ounces, which is insane. That's like such an incredibly light shoe. The uppers is phantom fit material, which you can kind of see through. So in my opinion, the Rebel V4s are like the super bargain price point at $140.
I wonder what's the weight on those.
They also have regular and wide versions. And then lastly, not to throw another wrench in the pot, this is an incredible shoe though. Check this out. A little bit of rocking motion and stuff. This is the Balos, and this does feature Fresh Foam X, but this is like a modified version of Fresh Foam X.
I wonder why it's called
almost
the
like a hybrid
Balos, though.
between Fuelcell and Fresh Foam X. They actually call this out as a Peeble blended foam with pronounced rocker midsole for propulsive and fast underfoot feel. This is the only colorway they have. They do have wide versions as well. It's 9.2 ounces. They do fit true to size as well, in my opinion, but they do cost $200. This is the most expensive out of the group. So is it worth it or not? And in my opinion, like for sure, like I'm a huge fan of all of these. So like this was like one I was very curious about. I did a review on these in comparison to the 1080s, at least the previous version of the 1080s. And I feel like this is like my favorite version overall. However, and it does have a little bit of a rocker motion, but I don't notice it as much as like other shoes with rocking motions on them, like ones with carbon fiber plates and so on. Like you can see, like it doesn't have a carbon fiber plate, so it's not going to propel and rock as much as some of the ones that have the plates in it. So it's not something that I felt like uncomfortable walking around casually in through Vegas. I took these ones to Vegas with me the last time. Overall though, it was really a nice experience on feet, and definitely one that I was like, this is a cool pair. The comfort in the midsole I'd see is better than the 1080s.
The
However,
in the background.
if you're looking for bigger, the more V5s is still a bigger overall foam stack than the Balos. So if you're looking for the most foam ever, I would go more V5s. If you're looking for like just the best all around, I would go the 1080 V14s or the 13s at a discounted price. If you're looking for the lightest, the fastest, the most responsive, in the lower tier pricing area, this at 140 is an amazing buy. If you're looking for something a little bit more serious, then obviously there's the elites and the super comp trainers as well. I should have pulled out the super comps for the video, but if you're looking for something that's just more luxury and just overall like an incredible experience on feet, these are super comfortable, a little bit more comfortable than these even, a little bit more breathable as well with the toe box. And the only difference is this has like a stretchy knit tongue over top of it, which some people might actually prefer. I actually like the standard tongues better that are like semi-gusseted, so like attached at the halfway point down like the 1080 V14s are. So I actually prefer the 1080 V14 tongue. However, the overall fit when you have these on is just incredible. So does that leave you tough options ahead? Maybe so. I would say overall you can't go wrong with any of them. And if you guys have bought 1, 2, 3 of any of these out there and you have other opinions or want to reinstate any of the opinions that I've given, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, let other people know. Because honestly, it's just like a community of people out there that appreciate the sneakers that New Balance has been creating, and I'm one of those people in that community. And it's just it's a fun experience. My very first pair was the 1080 V10s 5 years ago now, and now we have so many different crazy pairs. My only ask for New Balance would be to create a 1080 V14 Gore-Tex version. That's the one missing piece, or a Rebel V4 Gore-Tex version. Both of those would be amazing. I feel like we still need that. Overall, I'd say that any of these options are going to be great for your feet. And if you guys are interested in buying any of them, again, link in the description. Hopefully you found this video somewhat.
This is a very great video, I gotta say. But with that being said, you guys, if I had to pick my own out of all of these, I probably would pick the more V5 just because it would be more, I think it's better for my type of lifestyle if I'm going to the gym. If I'm just using it for walking, not running, or maybe even if it's running, it's recovery. But now that I think about it, maybe even the Rebel V4s. I feel like those are my top two options for the video. You guys let me know what your guys' options are and what you guys like the most. But with that being said, you guys, if you guys do want to see some more videos like this on some sneaker reviews / comparisons, go ahead and click the playlist right here.